everyone, Sophia here from My Great Challenge. Welcome back to my channel. It is day 7th of my staycation. It is September the 3rd Sunday. It's rainy and I am sick. I have a cold, the sniffles, you name it. So I'm gonna take it easy. There's nothing much I need to do today. Well, that's not true. That is a lie. I have to finish the table, do some cleaning around the whole first floor, at least the dining room and the living room, and then we gotta get the kids for a haircut. I gotta get my nails done, and probably stop by and get shoes for the boys, because you know, back to school is Wednesday, I think. Thursday. I can't remember. The 6th. That's gotta be Wednesday. Okay, let me show you what I just got from the store, because I thought I had dark stain in the basement, and I didn't. Everything I had has red in it, so that's okay, because I'm gonna mix them anyway. This is the wood finish by Minwax, and this is ebony in color, which is pretty much the color of the table, but I do have some red stain downstairs, and I'm going to not match them but do patches in red and then go over it with the dark one, so that I will have the red highlights. And I got a better putty. This is the actual Minwax dark color putty, which is much better than what I had yesterday. So let me finish the putty first, and then I have to sand the whole table, well, not the top but the edges, just to make sure it's nice and smooth. In particular the right angle corners, I want to round them up a little bit. So I'll give you an example, right? I have a gap right here, and I got the putty in there yesterday, but I don't like the way it looks, so I'm gonna get some of that Minwax, and this is what you do with it. You pretty much make a paste, and then you roll it like this, right? You make like a little sausage thing, and then you put it inside. Don't worry if you got too much. And then you just press it in. Can you see that? Okay, and it gets rid of all the excess, and it fills the gap. Now once you're done, you just go like this with your finger. See that? And it's all filled in. So that gets stained, so we don't have to worry about the color of it right now. But the great thing about it is that it's completely covering the gap that I have, and it's gonna blend in with the table once it's stained. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me finish this part right here. Alright, so this is what I'm doing now. I'm almost done, 95% done. I have 2 blocks. One is coarse, one is fine. And I'm using the coarse one. You see that angle right here? Okay, that is a very sharp angle on the molding. So what I'm doing is rounding it up so that it's a much smoother transition, and then when you go like this with your arms, it just basically, you know, smooth. It's a smooth surface. So I'm just going like this in circles, right, to smooth the angle. And I'm doing the same thing at the end over here. And what it does is that it makes the wood basically feel like silk. It gets really, really smooth. You don't see any, you know, little shards or whatever, splinters. It's just a better way to finish your wood anyway, rather than keeping just the raw wood. And then wherever I have a little bit of that putty that's left, I'm removing it as well, because it's not going to be taking the paint all too well with the stain. Alright, so once this is down, you go by touch, right? And then you touch it like this. And if it's fine enough for you, you just go with the fine grit, and then you do the whole process over. And now we're really going to have a smooth surface. finally ready to stain this, and that will be the end of it. I just cleaned it really fast with a damp cloth, just to remove all the sawdust. So I have two colors. The big one here is a leftover from various projects in the house. It's Gunsmoke. It's got a red tint to it, if you see that. Okay, so it's kind of matching the red that's here. I love it, kinda. The other one is Ebony, which is much darker. All right, so I have gloves, and there's nothing better than an old unmatched sock to do this kind of job. So here we go. I'm gonna dip in the mahogany. No, I'm gonna dip in the ebony first to see what it looks like. It's a little bit dark, and that's okay. It's gonna get absorbed. Let's not freak out. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I dipped into the mahogany or the ebony first, but I definitely need to add some red to it, just to dampen it a little bit. I'm gonna put more red than I have black, and actually I think that's what I need to do. I need to put more red and dip it in a little bit of black. Yeah, that's much better. So if I dip it in the red mostly, and I start as a red color, see that? Okay. It's a little bit too bright as a red, but then what I can do is dip a little bit in the black and start blending it in. So that gives me the dark color on top and the red at the bottom, so it gives me the highlights that I wanted. If I start with the black instead, then the black is going to take over the wood, and I won't be able to see the red highlight over it. I don't know if I'm making sense with that. So it's pretty much a good match. All right, so let me finish this whole process here. I gotta make sure I get all the little grooves, because I gotta make sure I get all the little grooves, and then whatever leftover I have on this, I'll do the whole surface of the table with it. I'm debating as to whether I want to put a second coat, but I have leftover of both the red and the black, and I'm just going over the whole surface of the table, and I can do that because this wood is not finished basically, and I checked with the guys at the Home Depot, and they said, yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. You can wax it, you can do, you know, stuff that you cannot do with Pergo. What you got is what you got with Pergo, but this, I can wax it, I can polyurethane it, I can sand it if I want to, and I can change the color. So what I'm doing right now, because I have more red than I have ebony, I'm just giving it a little bit more of a red finish, just to generally match the dining room, and plus that's what we like anyway. And then there's a little areas here and there where the edge of the board splintered, so I'm just putting I don't need to put putty in there, but I'm just putting a little bit of the stain in it to cover it, and it just completely disappear And this looks like it's absorbing the stain real well. I'm gonna go on the other side. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And you know what? Once it gets, over time, if the table gets dull again, guess what? Put a new coat. Or I can put my favorite product, the Rejuvenate, over it. I'm just standing there admiring the table because you know what? It came out way better than what I expected and probably better than what you guys expected. I'm liking it. This is just what I wanted, a wooden tabletop. Table is large. It's great for 6 people. I can squeeze 8. They're still gonna be comfortable. 10, I'm pushing it. Of course, there's no extension to it, but you know what? It just fits the decor perfectly. I can't wait to clean this room and really, really be able to admire it. So now I'm pondering whether or not I should do a second coat. You know what? I will once this is dry, but I'm gonna do the red only because I'm looking at my buffet right now and I'm really seeing the red highlights in it more than the ebony, and that's what I want with this this piece of furniture. I wanted to have a little bit more red highlight. This is great. It's super easy to maintain, just wipe it off. And again, I can put hot pots on it if I want to because there's no polyurethane. So if I do, well, I'll still put, you know, a pad or something. You know, like one of those, whatever, trivets, that's what they call it. But if there is a hot spot that shows, I just have to get a very light steel wool, get rid of it, and then restain it, and that's it. Super easy to maintain. I'm loving it. The only problem are the 2 2x4s that are underneath. If you go like this, you see them. I'm going to stain them too, so that way they kind of blend in and disappear. I'll have to figure out a different system to keep that top. Or maybe I'll just put wood around it, like a frame, to hide them underneath, but it might look funky, I don't know. It doesn't matter, I'm not doing that today. So I'm just gonna have a cup of tea and another round of cold symptom medication, and then I'll go ahead and do the red finish on it, and then I have to clean the whole dining room. I can't wait to show you the dining room all spruced up with the table finished. It's gonna look really, really cool. I'm happy. I hope you can tell. I don't have a lot of enthusiasm right now because I'm sick, but I'm really happy. This is, hey, add that to the list of goals for 2017. I said I was gonna do this and other projects, so that one, I can put a check mark on it. Yes. I'm done. It's done. I did 2 coats. I actually added more black ebony than I did red, and it blends in beautifully. Listen, it's got some flows here and there. Who cares? I mean, really, it's what I wanted, and that works for us. And Scott likes it. The kids like it. It's still tacky to the touch right now, but I got this whole room to clean. So I'm gonna work from this corner all the way around. Let's start with this corner. interrupting our regular programming for Scott's reaction, who was upstairs working on his computer.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you did a nice job.
What'd you like about it?
Well, it all seems to match together. I mean, this is a little bit, the finish on this is a little bit different from the finish here.
Well, but you know why?
Oops.
Because the top was already shiny,
Yeah.
and then the ones on the side, the molding is not. So what I'm going to do is take some Rejuvenate just on the side
Yeah.
to give it a shine so that it matches the middle of the table.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
Yay! He likes it. I know you weren't sure at first.
No, the one thing that I didn't like was just cutting off the 4 inches on either.
Yeah, but I didn't know how to do around corners with those. Those boards are thin.
Well, they weren't perfect round corners either.
No, that's true. But the boards that I put on top, they're only 8 millimeters.
Yeah.
8 or 10, and I just didn't want them to crack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I recycled that tray that I don't know what to do with it, so I put it right there in the middle, and I have the plant that your mom sent.
You know, this is still wet, right?
It's just a little bit tacky, but it's only on the edges. It's fine.
Alright.
So it looks good. All right, let me finish cleaning the dining room. I'm almost done,
Okay.
and then we can go about our business. I still have all of this here to do. And I'm done with cleaning the dining room. Unfortunately, it is way too late for haircut and manicure, but my salon is open tomorrow, so I'll go tomorrow. And I'll get the kids their haircuts. So tomorrow is my last day of vacation, then I go back to work. I'm feeling a little bit better. Granted, I got a lot of medication in me. This is looking great. I love it. The only problem is the finish on, and one of you, Jane, you mentioned that already. The finish on the trim is different than the finish on the tabletop, so I'm gonna have to put a clear coat or beeswax, you mentioned, on the finish, and I'll be fine. And you're hearing conversation, my friend is here, so, and he likes it too. Let me show you what the dining room looks like. I still have the air conditioner in there. We're gonna have to remove it probably before we leave, and then we're taking a ride. We're gonna go either to Wegmans or the new And That store. Have you heard of them? I think they're by the Christmas tree shop. I've never been to one, so if it's open, I'll take you along, and then I'll be it for the day. It's gonna be a short video. So here is the dining room. The whole buffet has been cleared, and let me tell you, I got all the dust and the sawdust out of the whole dining room, including the walls. So here's the table, and that's the finished product. So you let me know down below how'd you like it. I really like it. Look at, see the color, how it comes out when you mix the dark and the red together, and then this is this with the dark and the red as well, so it's a good match. The table has been shortened a little bit. Scott's not crazy about that, but it's really not that significant. So yep, I'm happy with it. And then all of this has been cleaned out. You saw me do the window sills. So tomorrow is the beginning of zone 1, and guess what, the dining room is done already, so I don't have to take care of anything tomorrow. No zone cleaning for me, but yep, this is the new dining room table. I am loving it. I can't. Again, my friend and Scott behind the camera, and they're goofing off, and it is very difficult. So I'm gonna try to say goodbye. It's 9:30. We just got back. We stopped by at Barnes & Noble, and believe it or not, I bought nothing at Barnes & Noble. The kitchen is clean. You can see that. Okay, just cleaned the kitchen, and then I'm sick, you guys. So I got Theraflu for tonight. I just got that at the store. I'm trying this syrup. I never had it before, so we'll see. And I'm gonna soak in this bath soak by Big Zen Featherbell, and this is lavender and chamomile with Epsom salt. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I hope you like the table. Here it is in the evening, if you can see, right? I think it looks really, really good. It's still a little bit tacky to the touch. Tomorrow, if it's still tacky, I'll just take a cotton cloth that doesn't have any fuzz on it, and I'll just wipe off the excess if there is any, but I don't think there will be. I'm gonna leave the fan on overnight, and then tomorrow morning for breakfast we'll have a grand table. Thank you for watching, you guys. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner if you're brand new, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.